The Israel-Gaza war now. Many residents are fleeing Gaza amid an ultimatum by Israel. Remember, Israel had warned citizens to evacuate Gaza as Israel's counter-strikes are continuing on the city. On the other side, in Israel, there are still attacks going on by the Hamas, and the Israeli Defense Forces say that the Hamas is preventing their residents from evacuating and moving to safer regions. To get you an update and to get you the ground reality, my colleague Kadambini Sharma is joining us live on the broadcast this morning. And Kadambini, it's close to 10 days of the war now. It started on 7th of October. It's 15th of October now, so it's more than a week. Tell us what you've seen over the last 1 week unfolding. Has the situation gotten any better, or is it only getting worse now?
Now there is a sense of trepidation, and because every preparation has been made. Now Benjamin Netanyahu was at the southern borders. He was asking the soldiers whether they are ready, and they have been saying that they are ready. Now the deployment is taking place throughout the southern border, and we are learning that it is complete. The deployment is complete. The military positions are complete. Now Israel can launch its attack anytime. The IDF has been saying that the attack will be on foot, by Navy, by Air Force. Air Force has already been striking Gaza continuously, because from Gaza as well, rocket attacks have continued. The efforts of infiltration have also continued. So these things are continuing. There have been raids, some raids on the outskirts of Gaza reportedly, and some evidence about the hostages has been collected as far as the reports are concerned. IDF has asked the citizens of the civilians of Gaza to move towards the north, not the south, from the border next to Israel, because now they are prepared to strike at any time. So these are the things on the battlefront. Apart from that, diplomatic efforts from several countries are on. Like Secretary Blinken has been meeting all the Arab leaders. He has met Saudi Arab leaders yesterday. He has met Qatari leaders yesterday. So these things are also on. But there is also disturbing news that Iran leadership has met Hamas leaders, and this happened in Qatar. So what went on there? Iran has been saying that if Israel goes any further and the strikes continue, so it will have to answer, and there will be an earthquake. That's the statement that has been coming. So these developments are taking place. No one wants this to escalate. The world does not want to escalate. But what has happened on last Saturday, the way civilians were butchered by Hamas terrorists, is something which cannot be forgotten in Israel easily. People are angry, and people are angry for lots of reasons, not only because what has happened was really unexpected, but because it was an intelligence failure which the defense forces, the intelligence is accepting. They are angry at their leader for he was looked at as someone strong. He came to power on the plank of a strong leadership and security. So they are angry with that. But what will happen next, it will be decided. We had expected that something would be happening. The ground assault may be happening over the weekend, but it seems it has been delayed a bit. Whether it's Gazans trying to move to a southern location so that they are safer, or there is an expectation that the hostages may be rescued before that, or the hostages may be released before any such thing happens, that is yet to be seen. But Hamas has given a statement again. Even yesterday, they said that in the airstrikes, 9 more hostages have died. Earlier, they had claimed that 13 hostages died in airstrikes carried out by Israel. So this is the situation here, which is looking very complicated, and there's no sign of any de-escalation at the moment, Priyanshi.
Right. So, Kadambini, you've told us that Israel is fully prepared, and Israel is preparing for that ground assault. In fact, you've been reporting extensively on how Israel is moving its equipment towards Gaza. But help us understand the state of the civilians right now. We know that Israel had warned Gazans to leave the city by Saturday. That was a clear warning to Gazans. But we know that there's no exit for the people of Gaza. Borders have been blocked. There's no access to food, water, electricity. So have there been any arrangements made to help Gazans evacuate and to help humanitarian aid reach Gazans?
Well, we have to understand that they are surrounded by Israel, and on the other side there is Egypt, which has closed its border. It has refused to let them in, and also there is another side. There is a sea. So at the moment, it doesn't look like there is any escape from outside to other countries. So they have been asked by IDF to move to the southern side. So it looks as if the strikes would be taking place on the border next to Israel. So this is one situation, but there is collateral damage. We have been hearing that number of women and children have died in the strikes. There is also a report by IDF. They have also released some pictures saying that Hamas itself is trying to prevent civilians from leaving, because they have been using civilians as a human shield. There was an explosion. It was claimed by Hamas that it was because of Israeli airstrike. Now there are some media reports here which say that it is Hamas who had planted IEDs. So there are conflicting reports about that. But yes, it is true that no aid is reaching at the moment, and it is very difficult to get any aid when there is a siege like this. And also the humanitarian corridor which was being talked about is not in place yet. WHO has been asking, they have been saying that it is a disaster. UN has been asking for more time, or maybe a humanitarian corridor, so that some medical aid could reach, some food and other supplies could reach, but this has not yet happened. The idea is to squeeze Hamas so much so that they give up, and at least the hostages, who are like more than 150 or to the count of 200, they may be released somehow. But that also is not happening, and the collateral damage can be seen everywhere. But we also have to remember that attacks from Gaza has not stopped. There are continuous barrage of rockets, especially in southern Israel. There is also a front open in northern Israel where Hezbollah is attacking the forces, and there is another battle taking place there. Now there were anti-tank missiles fired from Syrian side, so that also can be a front. So all these things, all these battle lines are drawn, the fronts are open, and in the midst of all this, there are civilians who are paying a very heavy price.
And Kadambari, my last question to you before we let you go. So while we've spoken about Israel clearly getting ready for that ground assault, and on the other side, the civilian casualties, we know that over 2,200 people have died in Gaza, while more than 1,000 people have died on Israel's side. That's the official figure that we have. Over 1,300 have been killed in Israel. But two serious allegations that have been made against Israel is one, that they were using white phosphorus, and of course the other one of a complete siege of Gaza, both of which are international war crimes. Tell us something about those fronts and Israel's response to those.
Well, we have on the white phosphorus bombs, I have no confirmation on that, and I have not seen any statement by Israel till now. As far as siege is concerned, siege is of course there, as I said, and it's a complete siege. There is nothing going inside Gaza. You have to understand how Gaza gets supplies. It goes from Israel every day. It goes from Israel. Everything, be it vegetables, fruits, or water, everything goes from Israel. Electricity, fuel, everything goes from Israel. Till some time back, before last Saturday, everything was going on smoothly. But after the attack which happened on last Saturday, the massacre which happened on Saturday, after that, everything has been stopped, and it's a complete siege. So no, there's nothing going inside. And we also have reports, we have seen media reports as well here in local media, that there is a complete breakdown of internet connection. However, there are pictures and videos which are coming out of there. But the siege is complete, and it is a dire situation there, because there are patients there, there are hospitals who are dependent on fuel and electricity and other medical supplies, but that is not happening. Israel has been accused of it, but Israel also is standing its ground, saying that Hamas has to be wiped out, and it is Hamas with which the responsibility lies of all these things, not with the Israel forces or government.